and welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name's Lizzie and I'm an avid cross stitcher, and this is why my channel is called a Flosstube channel, because I predominantly chat about cross stitch. Today is March the 4th, I believe. It's a Thursday morning, it's very early, it's about 6:10 if that. I decided if I didn't get up and do this I wouldn't do one for ages. So I've got my first morning cup of tea and lots to chat about. I did start this video sat in the car yesterday waiting for one of my daughters at an appointment, because you can't go in with them anywhere, can you, anymore, because of COVID. And I got distracted. There were two little dachshunds walking past me on the street. I got distracted, and so I think it was just a bumbling mess of me chatting. To be fair, that's what you're in for. Thank you to anyone who's come back, who's subscribed to my channel. Great to have you back. Thanks for bearing with me during all these, I want to say off radio off. Anyway, during these big gaps. And hello if you're new here. For those that don't know, I've said my name's Lizzie. I am a psychology undergraduate at Buckingham University in England. And I also work part-time, 20 hours a week, and I'm mum to two beautiful girls and two equally handsome dachshunds, although I think my girls are a bit more pretty than the boys are handsome. So life's busy, and the course itself is incredibly hard. My job is easy. The course itself is incredibly hard, harder than I expected it to be, higher workload than I expected. So I'm not actually getting masses of time to cross stitch during term time, although I am finding with online learning that there's potential to cross stitch wherever you look. I stitch through lectures because they're all pre-recorded. I stitch through seminars. Tend not to in tutorials because they're smaller groups and that would seem very rude. And also I put a lot more into them. Sometimes too much. I think the tutors are quite fed up with me sometimes, because I don't ever stop talking. I've also always had a few coffees by then as well, so I'm quite hyperactive, whereas this is literally my first cup of tea this morning. Oh, and I need that. Right, should we talk about some cross stitch? I don't think I've had any finishes to share since last time. My Be Brilliant by Cotton and Twine is up on the wall of my study right in front of my desk, and I did back it with the bright pink. Thank you for those that offered help. I was tempted to do a double border of grey then bright pink, but my knife I was using was blunt, so I thought I'll just do the pink and then get it in the frame and on the wall, and then it's done. So that's that. I've got lots of works in progresses. I've got a new start. I've got some haul, which I did say I wasn't going to buy anything. Well, you know what? The day I said that out loud in public to people, I got the pattern for the next Cotton and Twine subscription box, like the preview. I saw that and thought I need that. So I subscribed, so I'm going to have a new something every month, and I've got some bits and bobs as well, and I've got some Stitchy Kindness, which makes my heart sing. So let's crack on without further ado. I haven't ironed anything, and I haven't really organised anything because it is ridiculous o'clock in the morning. I don't even have a pad to put behind this. Here is my modern folk embroidery as far as I've got it sell. So the end of February is this bit down here. I do hope you can see. My phone's turned round, so everything should be the right way around for you. This is the next bit, the last bit of February, and then the next bit we've already got, obviously because it's March now, is this section here, which I want to say is a flower vase with some flowers in, quite sort of Quakery flowers. So that's about how wide it's going to be, and I love it. I love the simplicity of working in 2 colours. I am doing it on, I think, a 32 count, can't remember what. It's really light though, really light. So it's a linen. It's definitely not an even weave, but there's not many slubs in it because I don't really like working in linen because of the slubbiness and not being able to count very easily, but this one's okay. And I'm working it in a black and this purple, which if you watched my last video, are random colours I picked up in 1997, 96, 97 I think. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough to get to the bottom, so we shall see on that one. Fingers crossed, everybody. But yeah, I'm loving that. That's good for when I don't need to think because I don't have to change colour. Okay, next up. Now, I don't think you've seen this one as a silly me. Excuse me while I just find its pattern head cover. Excuse me, trying not to. There we go. So I'm not sure if you've watched my video where I've said I'm doing this. So I'll do that side, it's probably better. Excuse me. This is Bothy Threads Moo, and I just love it. You know, the picture itself, I didn't think I'd enjoy stitching it as much as I'm going to. I've done a Rendell design Jolly Robin, and if I'm honest, getting to the end of that was a relief. But I think that was more to do with the fact I made a mistake and put it on the naughty step for ages, because I'm absolutely loving stitching this. It's really good to, let me show you my progress and I can explain. So this is probably, oh gosh, I've left the needle in it, naughty me. Okay. So this is about 3 weeks maybe of progress, and what I do is I stitch the outline of a colour, like I stitched the outline of this brown, and then in a lecture or a seminar I'll go in and fill in the gap, because I can then listen and stitch at the same time without having to think about what I'm stitching. So that's really handy, and I'm really enjoying the colour blockiness of it. And see, this is where its nose is going to be. This is where I started it months ago. I did this arch and the colours around it, but since I've got onto the browns I've sped up and I'm really enjoying working on it. It's a paper pattern as well, which is handy for lectures because I don't need a spare screen, and you get to colour it in afterwards, don't you, when you're working on that. I'll make a little pile of things here, which is probably going to all end in tears, isn't it? Now, I'm so nearly at a finish with this one. I should just be concentrating on it to get it to the end. This is my historical sampler company, Be Happy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this bag when I've finished. I suppose I could paste on the front, like download a picture of something I'm working on off an Etsy project maybe, and paste it on, and then that could be that bag. Because they're so sturdy, I don't want to bin it because it's really handy, because it stands up of its own accord and you can just throw things in it from quite a distance, I've found. Anyhow, here is that one coming along. Oh, I told you it would go wrong. Let's use my moo cow picture. As you can see, it is so nearly finished. I've just got one more flower and probably a couple more bumblebees to do. Now, my friend Fiona, who was stitching this with me, has finished hers. Even though she had masses of time off over Christmas, she picked it up and just sort of stormed home to a finish. I was ahead for quite some time, but then uni started again and I haven't picked it up since, really. So I've got one more flower, and then that can go in a frame up next to my Be Brilliant upstairs, I hope. I thought I might have a bee themed wall in my study. Be busy. I need to be busy. Or be productive, really. Being busy is one thing. It's whether you're using your time productively. I've noticed that I spend quite a lot of time multitasking and saying I'm studying when I'm clearly not, because nothing's going in and no words are being written. It's interesting actually, I did part of one of my assignments this month, this term, is a reflective piece. We're trialling lots of little mini interventions to see how it affects happiness and well-being, and one of them was to do 10 minutes activity a day of whatever you choose, just take 10 minutes off. So obviously a lot of mine was extra stitching time, and although I did try different things, one of my 10 minutes was sat looking at stitching charts and things, and there is evidence to show that it's good for you and good for your health and good for your well-being, which is probably what makes us all so happy. I think as well, you know, nowadays we feel like we're linked socially to people. I mean, the wonders of Flosstube. It feels like having friends, even when we can't have friends around. It really does, to me, feel like having friends into my house. And all the Flosstubers out there that I watch, thank you. I mean, I mentioned, I do post comments, but if you're watching me and thinking, oh, this is nice, well, do come back. I think we need each other these days. Back to the stitching. I still haven't fixed my Mill Hill, so that's in a similar place. My Mill Hill Wish Upon a Star. That's where I left it. Sorry if there was glare, sorry if you couldn't see it. My camera, have I told you my camera's the wrong way around? I have worked on Hello Pumpkin. Probably not got as far as I wanted to, but then Hello Petal's not out yet, so that's so Caterpillar Cross Stitch has done a series, or is doing a series of trees, one for each season. I finished Hello Dear, which is the winter one, because that was a stitch along. And this was a stitch along, but I didn't know about it till afterwards. This is Hello Pumpkin. And I think after I did my last Flosstube, I went and added some more bits up here. This was a particularly interesting lecture, this acorn, about happiness and positive emotions and things. So yeah, I can I can tell you what I was listening to with each thing. But then for some reason I put it down. I think probably because the Modern Folk Embroidery next release came out and I've been trying to keep up with that. But this is so, now I'm looking at it, this is so bright and colourful. I think I probably ought to crack on with that. So I'll put that near the top of the pile. So that's Hello Pumpkin. As I said, Hello Petal, which is the spring one, is going to be released, I hope, this month. Not that I'm going to be able to stitch it this month, because I've got plenty on, but it will be nice to have, just to hold, and just to look at the pretty colours. That's my... what's this? This is Spangle by Long Dog Sampler. I haven't worked on that for ages. That's Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. I don't think I've put any stitches in that recently. Oh, I thought I had more to show you than all of that. Here's a new start. Anyway. It's probably hooked around my knitting. I'm trying to knit a pair of socks, courtesy of Stitch MD and Caroline off the Grid Needle Arts. And I can knit, but I've just got to the bit where you have to turn. So your sock goes down the tube like that, doesn't it? And then it turns. Well, I've done this bit, but I need to work out how to do that bit and pick up those stitches. But Caroline's done YouTube tutorials. I just need to actually sit and watch. This is going to be my Mother's Day gift for my mum. It's going to say Happy Mother's Day. This is the H and the E, the H and the E of mothers. Or mother. I wonder if it says Mother's Day or Mother. It must say Mother's Day. I'm not sure I'm going to have room to fit it in even. And I certainly probably haven't got time to finish it because we celebrate Mother's Day here in England and the UK on the 14th of March this year. It moves depending on when Easter is, which moves depending on the moon. So yeah, I've used this scrap of even weave that I dyed myself, because it's a pretty colour. But I'm not sure I'm going to have enough to fit it all on. I hope I am. It's an Etsy pattern I bought. I just like the font. It's an Etsy pattern. I haven't got a picture of its screenshot of the pattern front, but I will try and, well, I'll try and finish it and take photos to show you in my next video, because hopefully, I don't know, I might get it finished by then, but I have got 2 assignments due in the day after Mothering Sunday, so I'm hoping, I don't think I will though, let's be honest. Let's be realistic, Lizzie. Okay, speaking of mother and Mothering Sunday, this is my mum's project. I must have mentioned before in a Flosstube video that mum's been working on a project for her friend, and it's not finished. She's given it to me to finish because she's had enough of it, and at the moment I just can't do it because I'm too stressed with uni. But will you look at that? This is virtually the spitting image of my mum's friend's cottage. I don't know if you can see it. If I hide my head, does it focus? Some people do that. It's amazing. It's on 20 count. Worked in DMC. We actually used the DMC make a pattern out my photo thing, and they sent, and we clicked the button, so all the threads were picked and sent for it. The back's not pretty, but it feels so solid. It's actually quite fun to work on. I've just got to go through and fill in these gaps. I did liken it, however, to a paint by numbers kit by somebody who doesn't know their numbers, because she hasn't followed the pattern particularly closely. So it's more now like an art project, picking up and putting in the right shades of green that I think should go in the border rather than what the pattern says. Otherwise I will be pulling my hair out. Mum wants it done as quickly as possible, but she hasn't mentioned the fact that I've still got it. So again, hopefully at some point, I've got 2 weeks off soon, but off uni anyway, so I'll try and make that my holiday project. It's not a joyful stitch though, and maybe that's just because I'm a selfish bunny. I don't know. I think, excuse me, like I said, that's everything I've been working on, because I haven't really been working on much. I think my plans for the next however long are to try and keep up with the modern folk embroidery style, because I like it. I like the fact that we know what it's going to look like before we started, and we could choose whether we wanted to start on it or not based on what it looks like. I'm going to have to tweak it a bit, because there are a couple of panels in it that look like sky, and the colour that, if I was following the chart, the colour I'd be doing the sky would be purple. So I might swap the colours around for those and have purple trees and black sky. Or I could introduce a third colour, which would make my pink and my purple and my black go a bit further. That might be the ideal. What would you do? Answers on a postcard. Would you introduce a third colour and do, so like under here there's going to be a house. I wish I had a printout of it now. There's going to be a tree, sorry, and then below that there'll be a house. And this is supposed to be the colour for the sky, with the tree in black. Now I could swap it out and have a purple tree with a black sky, or I could have a different coloured tree with a black sky. That's your question for today. What colour tree shall I have? Shall I enter a third colour? Okay, so I said I wouldn't be doing any purchasing of things, and I broke that. So the first thing I purchased was the pattern for Mum's Mother's Day. Actually, that wasn't the first thing, that was the last thing I purchased. Michelle from Mama Loves You GB said about buying spare floss from the works for doing braiding and stuff. I thought that was a genius idea, so I got these set of 30 randomly manufactured, ooh, that's quite a close pink to that, random manufacturer, non-DMC threads, what, 30 for £3. And then later on, that's from the Works, and I don't know if you'll still find them on the Works, but Aldi on their website was selling these plastic boxes with all the spools and stuff. If you're a bobbinator, that's a word that Sian from Craft Fate and Creations, who also has YouTube, she uses that word, bobbinator. This is a box of 120, and they're not all that bright. There's loads and loads of different colours, and I thought, you know, I am a bit of a thread snob, but I haven't got any money, so I'm going to try these. That's what I'm using on Mum's Mother's Day pillow. It's going to be a pillow. If I won't be able to mount it, there's not going to be room on the edge, so I'll sew it, make it into a pillow. That's what I'm using on hers. They do fluff up a bit, but the fluff just pulls off. It like falls off, if you get what I mean. So for little projects, this is going to be my go-to stash, rather than using a DMC. So I've got quite a lot. And I just like fiddling with the colours. So that was £10 plus delivery for 120 skeins of thread, skeins, which I don't think, I can't get my head around it. I'm not going to think about it, because it probably means somebody somewhere's been paid very unfairly for their labour. Let's hope not. What else have I bought? Let's change the subject back to buying. I feel a bit bad now. I have been and bought some threads for an Emma Condon I want to do, which I haven't got the pattern to hand. It was in Cross Stitcher. It says you are absolutely amazing, or something like that. But it was in Cross Stitcher not last month, the month before, and these are those colours. There's my piece of paper. So those are the colours for that. She's charged it to be done on black, but I'm going to do it on navy. It's got a leopard, it's got snakes, and it says you are all kinds of amazing. That's what it says. And I think we all need to be reminded how amazing we are. So I'm stitching it for myself. While I was on Lakeside though, however, buying those, I thought that's a bit of a pilferly package to come in the post, isn't it? So I ordered some DMC even weave. I don't know, because I haven't got my screen, I probably have to record this because nothing's in shot. I bought this lovely mint green even weave, and it's DMC rather than Zweigart. So it feels really heavy compared to the linen I'm using for the Modern Folk Embroidery and the linen I'm using for Historical Samplers Be Happy. But I do love even weave. I love like seeing it on the wall. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on this yet. But Mum gave me the Emma Condon book for Christmas, so there are loads of opportunities to use that, I think, especially with some of these colours in here. Oh, lush. Okay, and then the reason that this is what started the spending. I wasn't going to spend anything. I was just going to stitch from stash all year. And this came in the post yesterday. Unfortunately, my husband was at home. Oh, stitching from stash, are we this year? I said, yes, 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 I am. My stash just needed enhancing. And so I have subscribed, as I said, I'm going to move that out of the way, to the Cotton and Twine subscription boxes. So they send you a pattern and a little box of goodies every month. And here is the February design. It says hope. This design flashed up on Instagram and then disappeared months ago, and I spent hours looking for it. And then my friend sent me, Fiona sent me the link to it saying, isn't that pretty? And I was like, that's the one I've been looking for hours and for, you know, days. So of course it was a sign. I had to go buy it. So the kit comes with the pattern. There was chocolate in the box, but I opened it last night, so that's past tense chocolate now. Comes with a hoop to frame it and or stitch it. The goodie box had this little cute little notebook. That might go in my mum's Mother's Day gift bag. Came with a clipper tea, peppermint, which I really actually fancied last night. I don't know why I didn't make it. Double-sided tape, because the pattern is wrapped, the finish is a wrapped frame with ribbon. So then in this bag, which very cutely, they all say with love on them, they're very cute. I might save that and use it for something else. You get your threads on a thread card. And they're all DMC threads on a thread card. Obviously you get your needle, which I'm now going to lose because it was neatly tucked in there. Here's the beautiful ribbon. Oh, it's so fine to wrap your frame. And some Ada. Oh, that looks small. I want to say that's an 18 count. Dum, dum, dum. No, it's 16 count. I think my eyes are just getting old. I'm going to the opticians later today. So, yeah, I think that's going to look quite nice. I am stitching on Ada more and more at the moment because I like it. So yeah, that was a stash enhancement so that I can continue to stitch from stash from this year. I don't think he saw the funny side, but it's my money, I can do what I like with it. I think he did see the funny side, he went upstairs chuckling. He's good like that. Right, excuse me. So I've had some Stitchy Kindness and I loved it. First thing, which I meant to show you last video, was this needle minder that I'm just getting another magnet because so I can show you up close. I'll put it on this piece of paper. Obviously it comes with 2 magnets, but I'll explain in a minute why I need to find one. So my friend Fiona bought me this. It says Stitching Buddy, because we stitch and we chat via Messenger, and then every now and then, probably once a month, but not in February I don't think. February is such a short month. We'll have a Zoom and we'll chat. I was thinking of setting up a I'll talk about that in a minute. So my Stitchy Buddy needle minder, and I have put it on top of this jam jar, which my orts are in for this year. I've never collected them before, really. That's where the other half of the magnet is. It's on the inside to put spare needles on. Orts are in there. And then, so I put my needle on here while I trim the threads or snip and put them in here, so I know where my needle is. Because I'm doing a lot of stitching in hand at the moment, I don't put a needle minder on my work because it adds to the weight and distorts it. So having it on here is great. My husband cut me a nice circle to go on top of the jam jar, so it didn't look like a strawberry jam jar. Sorry, early. I've asked him to cut me a hole in the top of the jam jar to put my scissors through, and he said he would. That was in January, I think. I might have to remind him this weekend. I think he's working, so thank you, Fiona. And Fiona has also sent me these, which you may have seen on my Modern Folk Embroidery. They're little rubber, silicone maybe, swirly things to hold up your fabric. Now lots of people have got magnety ones. These are, look, this one's coming off because I've unrolled it. These are just rubber swirls. I don't know what they're sold as because I didn't buy them, Fiona did. And she sent me all the pink ones. I love pink. Ooh, pick that up so the dogs don't get it. So yeah, you roll it up and then you hook your fabric in there so it holds it up. Life changer. And I've got loads. She sent me loads. Love her. Thank you, Fiona. You're wonderful if you're watching. Another piece of Stitchy Kindness was Helen McLean, who I follow on Instagram, was saying, it was just destashing, I think. She said, I've got these two kits that I'm never going to stitch, first come first served, and one of them was this beautiful Peter Rabbit set. And I because it was said kit, I assumed it would come with the Ada and the thread. Actually comes with a hoop. And so I was really grateful. I sent a thank you note, which I hope she got. Really grateful for this. I've wanted to stitch a Beatrix Potter. I don't know why, I just love the pictures. And I've got a couple of patterns, but obviously without the fabric and stuff I'd have to go shopping and buy them. So that being a freebie means that this year I can make my wish come true and stitch a Beatrix Potter. And it's nice because it's a mummy giving a Peter Rabbit a cuddle. Could have done that for my mum for Mothering Sunday, had I thought. Maybe next year. She can have it next year. And then Stitchy Kindness or competition winning. Sorry, something else just sort of semi-popped into my head and popped out again, so I couldn't even tell you what I was thinking. I entered a competition on Instagram. Sorry about this noise, I'm just going to do it quickly and get it over and done with. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Entered a competition over on Instagram by MJ Peacock, who is a designer of tapestries. And I won. It was a Valentine's giveaway to win one of her patterns that she'd recoloured. I'll take it out of the bag so there's no glare. Can you see that? It's for a tapestry for her moth pattern. So it comes with all these gorgeous wools. And I think it's just 1 over, isn't it, if you're doing a tapestry? I'm assuming it's got instructions. This is the pattern, so I won't show you that. Here we are. Instructions. Continental tent stitch. So yeah, just 1 over. You don't cross. So that, I think, will be quite a nice little project once I've got used to the thickness of the canvas. It comes with 2 needles. It's pre-printed. I used to do canvas work and needlepoint quite a lot when I was younger. I think what happened was I was doing cross stitch in the break room, and somebody came in and said, "Oh, I've got something you might like, and you can finish it for me." And being a poor student at the time, I said yes, yes, yes. And it wasn't cross stitch, but I think people assume that they're the same sometimes. You're working with your hands, therefore. So I did that, loved it. I don't know if I ever finished it. It wasn't really my thing. It was like a old scene, historical scene. But this, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It's going to be quite nice, quite bright. Don't know what I'll do with it. And it comes with this little bag to put all the bits and bobs in, and you know what I like. Oh, that's interesting. The canvas snags on the ropes of the handles. You know I'm a sucker for a nice cardboard bag that stands up on its own. So that was an amazing giveaway, an amazing win. Speaking of giveaways, have you seen that DMC is giving away a full set of all its threads in a thing? Now I was going to enter it last night and I didn't because I thought, well, everybody else in the world's going to have entered. But I might go back and do it today because you've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? You can't win if you haven't entered. So But then maybe my lucky streaks won out with this. I think as well, I've promised myself that I will purchase my own DMC box, you know, the wooden box with all the threads when I graduate, when I get a decent job, when I graduate. It's going to be like my thing, my treat, my you did it. Because I think, you know, going through the degree, I'm going to deserve something big at the end of it. If I get my assignments finished by next Friday, my something big is a weekend of stitching, and I can't wait. So I've put myself an early deadline, because they don't have to be handed in until Monday. I've given myself an early deadline of next Friday for the 2 assignments, so I can literally just stitch all weekend. Well, and listen to the lectures and catch up on all the other things I haven't been doing, so I'm focusing on these assignments. Writing is just so hard. I can talk words, I just can't write them down. And yesterday I learned that in scientific writing you shouldn't use the word they. Although it is past tense, or third person, sorry, they, you shouldn't use it. Which is a shame, because I have used it quite a lot in an assignment I've handed in this term already. Hey ho. So, that's all my stitching news. I hope you've enjoyed it. I probably haven't smiled as much as I normally do, because it's 6 o'clock in the flipping morning, and I'm tired, and I've also got to now go to work for 5 hours over there in the dining room. I hope the light's been alright. I'll probably have to re-record this, and I'm talking to myself now. I've been really grateful for ideas about the modern folk embroidery, what colour to do that, and yeah, there we are. Have a good weekend and a good week. I might schedule an early morning start. Maybe we could do early morning Thursdays. Maybe that could be my new thing. I'm not sure how much stitching I'll get done in the next week though to do another one next Thursday. Let's aim for some more on Mother's Day. That's all I should work on between now and then. Let's see what happens. Everybody have a wonderful time. Be safe, be well, be brilliant, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care. Bye bye.